What happens when sex stops being an expression of love and turns into the most powerful tool of manipulation? That person who seemed so perfect at first, who made you feel like the most desired and unique person, suddenly starts using intimacy to control you, keep you at their mercy, and manipulate your every move. What was once passion is now punishment, power, and domination. In this video, I'll reveal how narcissists silently but devastatingly use sex to manipulate you. If you've ever felt that the physical connection has turned into a form of control, of reward and punishment, stay tuned. What you discover today might completely change the way you understand your relationship and, more importantly, show you how to start freeing yourself from that control. From the beginning, the narcissist uses sex as a powerful tool to hook you. At the start of the relationship, everything seems perfect. The connection is intense. The passion makes you feel like you've found that one person with whom you could never experience something similar again. These intimate moments seem almost magical, convincing you that what you have is special. What you don't see at that moment is that the narcissist has studied your desires, fantasies, and insecurities. They've molded their behavior to make you feel like the most important person, using intimacy to create emotional and physical dependence. This is no accident. From the beginning, their plan is to make you addicted to those intense moments, so that you keep seeking that connection repeatedly. This type of manipulation is reinforced by your body's chemical response. During those intimate moments, your brain releases dopamine, a hormone that makes you feel good, reinforcing your emotional attachment. With each experience, you feel more connected and more dependent on that person. But what seems like genuine surrender is actually a tactic to keep you trapped, making you come back over and over again for that same feeling. As the relationship progresses, what once seemed like passionate love transforms. The narcissist begins to use sex as a tool of control. It's no longer just an act of intimacy, but a way to manipulate you. When everything is going well, they offer you those moments of physical connection. But when you don't meet their expectations or challenge them, they begin to withdraw. This leaves you in confusion and deep anxiety, trying to understand what you did wrong, desperately seeking to regain that lost intimacy. Intimacy as punishment. One of the cruelest tactics a narcissist uses is withdrawing intimacy as a form of punishment. What once seemed like an act of love now becomes a power game. They leave you in a state of confusion, making you feel like if you're not getting their physical attention, it's because you've somehow failed. This deprivation not only affects your relationship but also your self-esteem. You start wondering if you're enough, if you did something wrong, and you look for any way to get back to that connection that made you feel so good. The narcissist, on the other hand, knows exactly what they are doing. By withholding their physical affection, they manipulate you emotionally, keeping you in a state of anxiety. They know that by denying what you want most, they'll put you in a vulnerable position. You start trying harder to please them, believing that if you do everything right, you'll regain those intimate moments that once seemed so abundant. But what you don't see is that this cycle is designed to keep you under their control. The reward and punishment dynamic becomes more apparent as the relationship progresses. The narcissist will give you small doses of physical attention when it suits them, but they'll always be the one in control of when and how it happens. This kind of intermittent reinforcement creates an emotional roller coaster. You're constantly waiting for those moments of connection, clinging to the hope that everything will go back to the way it was. But that hope is an illusion. Over time, this cycle wears down your emotional and physical health. You begin to doubt yourself, question your own worth, and the anxiety of not knowing when you'll have that physical connection again keeps you trapped. The narcissist enjoys this control, knowing they have the power to give you what you want most and then take it away whenever they choose, keeping you in a state of emotional dependence. The emotional roller coaster. The cycle of intimacy and rejection created by the narcissist becomes an emotional roller coaster. They alternate between moments of physical closeness and distance, leaving you in a constant state of uncertainty. Sometimes, the narcissist will offer brief moments of physical affection, making you feel like everything is returning to normal, only to pull away again. This type of behavior creates an even stronger emotional dependence. You're constantly waiting for the version of the narcissist who offered you affection and connection to return. This intermittent reinforcement is what keeps you trapped, making you doubt your own perception of the relationship and cling to the hope that things will improve. This pattern not only affects you emotionally but also has a profound impact on your self-esteem. You start doubting your own worth, believing that the problem is with you, and that if you try hard enough, the narcissist will become loving and attentive again. However, this is part of the plan, to keep you in a state of emotional vulnerability so they can continue exercising control over you. The emotional rollercoaster generated by this alternation of affection and rejection wears down your mental health. The anxiety and confusion keep you in a destructive cycle, where you're constantly seeking validation from someone who only offers you crumbs of affection to ensure you remain dependent. This cycle is one of the most insidious forms of narcissistic manipulation. The mistake of confusing sex with love. One of the most common mistakes made in these relationships is confusing great sex with a deeper emotional connection. Many people believe that a passionate sex life equals true love, when in reality, in the case of a narcissist, it's just a strategy to control. The narcissist uses this illusion to keep you trapped in a relationship where the physical replaces the emotional, and where intimacy becomes a tool of power. The problem is that these intense physical experiences make you feel like there's a special connection, something beyond simple desire. You believe they're the only person who can make you feel that way, and that there must be something deeper behind that chemistry. But the narcissist ensures that you confuse that physical attraction with love, using moments of intimacy to seal the idea that you're experiencing something unique. This confusion is one of the narcissist's most powerful weapons. It keeps you blind to the emotional reality of the relationship. While you're striving to regain those moments of physical connection, the narcissist is slowly eroding your self-esteem, making you believe your worth depends on their approval. The truth is, great sex doesn't always mean love or a deep relationship. In this case, it's just a trap disguised as something more meaningful. How to break free from manipulation. The key to freeing yourself from this trap is recognizing that the problem isn't you. If you found yourself questioning your body, your way of relating to others, or even your self-worth, it's because the narcissist has designed this dynamic to make you feel that way. The reality is, there's nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing is not a reflection of your flaws but the result of carefully orchestrated manipulation to make you doubt yourself. The narcissist creates an environment where you constantly feel insufficient. They make you believe that if you're not getting their physical or emotional attention, it's because you've failed in some way, that maybe you're not attractive enough or good enough in intimacy. But this cycle has nothing to do with your abilities or your worth and everything to do with the control the narcissist wants to maintain over you. The truth is, it's not healthy to have to beg your partner for attention, affection, or sex. No one should feel obligated to beg for love, much less question their value because of their partner's lack of response. The narcissist uses this tactic to make you believe the problem is you, so that you keep seeking their approval, trying harder and harder to receive the crumbs of affection they only give when it suits them. This manipulation keeps you trapped, making you think that if you manage to be better, you'll regain that initial connection you so long for. But the reality is, there's nothing to fix in you, because there was never a real connection from the narcissist's side. The lack of affection and withdrawal of intimacy isn't due to your failures or deficiencies. They're tools to keep you under control. The most important step to freeing yourself from this situation is realizing that you deserve a relationship where you don't have to beg for love, where you're not made to feel small or insufficient. The narcissist has played with your mind, making you believe the problem lies within you, but that's one of the biggest lies they've implanted in your head. You deserve respect, genuine affection, and a relationship where you feel valued for who you are, without having to beg for attention or question yourself at every step. Once you recognize this, you can begin to break the cycle and reclaim your power. Leave your opinion and personal experience in the comments. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.